Thomas, we kick off today's show in the Premier Liverpool taking on Arsenal, defending champions, beating Arteta's side by 3-1 here to discuss it. Don Hutchinson, Frank Leboeuf and Stevie Nicol. Stevie, Liverpool the best team in England and it's not even close, is it?
I tell you what, that first half,
so clinical. I mean, that was really amazing. But as Steve said, you know, we saw the superiority in every level from Liverpool, and Arsenal is lucky to be only 2-1 at halftime. It could have been really worse.
And I suppose Arsenal fans are there going, oi, I tell you what though, how come Liverpool was so good? It's 3-1. If Lacazette takes his chance, it's 2-2 and it could be a different game, Don.
I think you're right, Dan. I think for Arsenal fans, I think they can be optimistic. I mean, listen, they were outclassed tonight. Let's not make no bones about it. I struggled to watch Arsenal when I was watching them play from the back and taking chances. It was suicide football at times. But actually, they played some decent stuff. When Ceballos come on, he started picking 1 or 2 passes. And you're right, he played that lovely little ball into Lacazette, who should have finished it. Then it would have been game on. But when you look at the bigger picture and the full 90 minutes, the way Liverpool at times were absolutely cruising, and Sadio Mane just keeps staying at a ridiculous level that he's playing at. He was easily the best player on the pitch, and Liverpool deserved all 3 points.
Mane, excellent, Stevie.
he must be thinking, why am I getting substituted? Because I was thinking it. I'm thinking, it's only 2-1, and as much as you're dominating and look as though you've got an extra gear, the game's not done. And you're taking off, as you said, the best player on the field. I found that a little strange. Now, it ends up, it's fine. Jota ends up getting a goal. And he's probably thinking, wow, I was only on the field for 20 minutes and I had 3 chances and goaled 1. This is going to be great fun. But Mane, absolutely. Fantastic.
Just going back to that Lacazette chance, Frank, you've got to take that.
Yeah, is that the thing? You know, when you say Mane was the best player on the field, you know, you have to also name Alisson. Because Alisson that went out when substituted, that he wasn't happy, of course, to get out. He wasn't happy about the fact that he scored the first goal. He was unhappy because he missed 2 big chances. So maybe one was offside, maybe. But the second one, he had to score. It was 2-1. It could have been 2-2. If he didn't miss that, and if David Luiz didn't kick
this league once again, given the Manchester City performance we saw yesterday, do I still have to hold my horses?
Yeah, I think so. Listen, there's no question Liverpool are exceptional, but it is early, and so we should hold our horses. You know, I did say the problem was that line, and that's why Lacazette got in, because that line wasn't together. But listen, if we're going to ifs and ands about that, we can do it all day about the chances Liverpool had. So, yeah. No, Dan, clearly Liverpool are favourites, but it's a little early to say they're going to run away with it.
There's just such a golfing quality, you feel, Don, between them and everybody else. And I know that Everton have had a great start, Leicester as well, but it's difficult to see them maintaining this sort of level that you feel Liverpool will throughout this campaign.
Yeah, I mean, they're the full package. I mean, Everton are still trying to get where Liverpool want to be, and that may take them another couple of years. And teams like Leicester are pushing hard, sitting top of the table. So there's some good contenders and some good horses in the race. But when you think of where Liverpool are at and the strengthening that they've done, with Jota coming in and Minamino coming off the bench and Thiago not being in the squad because he wasn't match fit, I mean, they're just such an impressive unit. As Frank and Stevie were saying there, there's no real weaknesses. Even though Andy Robertson made a mistake, the only out I would give him is I think it took a slight deflection off Virgil van Dijk, who again was a rock at the back. And as Frank rightly said, you know, I think Sadio Mane, he'll get all the plaudits on social media, but Alisson, that's why Liverpool want to be at the top table when they went out and spent the money on Alisson, one of the best goalkeepers in the world, and then a record fee for Virgil van Dijk. It's where they want to be. They were just a little bit short at the time. But now you look at them and you think, well, they're 6 points ahead of Man City, which you think will be their closest rivals. Yes, City've got a game in hand. So already Liverpool are opening up a gap.
Yeah, where's the argument here, Frank, to say that Liverpool won't run away with it? Where's the weakness? Where could we see them dropping points?
Well, as I said before, when you asked me, you know, what I thought about Liverpool and if they will be again a champion, and I put them third, which I think I'm going to be wrong, but I made a bet and I try something. But I think they can be blasé. Maybe they can think that it's already given and that they already won, and maybe they let it go. I mean, like they did just straight after the restart, where they lost 2 silly games. Of course, if they are tuned in, if they keep on working like that, they're going to win, and they're going to win the league again, and the Premier League again. But it's just up to them. If they're not tuned in, if they don't pay attention to what's going on, maybe they can get blasé again and lose the title. Otherwise, yeah, even Leicester is doing great, Everton is doing great, City is going to be back, so it's going to be a fight. I don't know what's going to happen to Chelsea and Manchester United, but the fight is just started. So you cannot say, oh, it's going to be an easy run for Liverpool, because we're far away from there. Lots of surprises, I guess, during the season, hopefully.
It's rare, isn't it, considering what we saw this weekend. We're not really talking about officials, decisions, and balls or penalties. Although early on, Mane, could he have been sent off, do you think, Frank, for the old elbow?
Yeah, we've seen worse, and we've seen a red card for even less than that. So what's going to happen? Maybe they don't win that game.
Don?
I think it's one of them, Dan, where if the referee had issued a red card, you wouldn't have really argued against the referee. I knew exactly what Sadio Mane was trying to do. Normally, when a defender's coming in on one side, you sort of try and fob him off a little bit, but he had the sort of fist clenched. I didn't think it was a red at the time. I thought it was a yellow. I was quite happy with the officials going with the yellow, but if it had been a red, I don't think there would have been any complaints.
Stevie?
Well, I think the referee got it right, but there are some referees who would have given a red card. You know, the ref got it right because his intention wasn't to catch Tierney across the side of the jaw, which he did. Now that in itself, I guess you can argue, is a red card. He's put his arm out just to protect himself, because it looks like it's going to be a shoulder charge between the two of them. And of course, Tierney doesn't go for it. So I think the referee got it right, but I'm with Don. If he had given him a red, it would be hard to argue, because he did catch him on the side of his chin.
What's Arsenal's big takeaway from this, Don?
I think they can be semi-pleased. I think they want to be where Liverpool are at right now, Dan, and I think
long way
Mikel Arteta are getting there. I think they're certainly trying. I see more defensive qualities in them. They're harder to beat. Their shape looks good when they play with three at the back and the two wing backs and two holding midfield players protecting. Can they be a little bit more expansive when they're playing against the lesser sides? The industry's there. They don't carry any passengers anymore, Dan. I keep saying that when you watch Arsenal over the last decade, whenever they've played against teams against the top six, they're always carrying one or two passengers. Not tonight. I thought every single player put a shift in, and it was an honest shift.
It all sounds a bit patronising to Arsenal, doesn't it, Stevie? Well done, you tried hard, you know, you're getting a bit better, people are trying.
Do you know, Dan, this is a real tough one. This is, you know, people going about coaching being about, you know, tactics on the field and bringing players off and doing this and doing that, but it all carries on the plane on the way home, and then the following day when you're coming in, how the manager, how the guy in charge is putting over what happened in this game. Because as a player, you'll be sitting there on the plane on the way back tonight and going, we got absolutely bastard tonight. I'm absolutely shattered, because you can see some of the Arsenal players were out on their feet because they got run around, and when you're doing so much defending, it absolutely sucks the life out of you. So this is when a lot of the stuff that people don't see about the coach's job. Is he going to be the rah-rah of how good they were together, how unlucky they were, how unlucky was Lacazette, a great save and we could have got a point, and are they all going to fall for it? So, in the next couple of days, he's going to be earning his corn.
Last word on this for you, Frank.
Well, you know, they can have regrets because they didn't do what they had to do, and that was my concern about William. And I'm gonna point the problem on him, where I think he touched like 8 balls, you know, in the first half, and he was the guy who didn't follow Robertson, you know, on the cross from Alexander-Arnold. That we all know around the world that when Alexander-Arnold has the ball, Robertson goes for the far post, and you should be there. That was the problem when he was playing for Chelsea. He could be the best player in the world and disappear completely and not doing his defensive part of the job. But also, I think in the midfield, with the crazy suicide passes that they make in the 6-yard box, you know, from Leno to David Luiz with holding, and where everybody starts sweating and everything, just to take that risk for, at the end of the day, giving it to a midfielder who is not capable of keeping the ball, just throwing a long ball where the three at the front didn't get. never gotten them. I think it's crazy. I don't know what Ceballos was on the bench. Really, when he came, we felt the differences of technique and the fact that he could bring some good balls, the one he gave to Lacazette and some others. So there were some mistakes that they could correct. They could have corrected and they didn't. But they have to change some stuff, because it's not the way that I see Arsenal and I see the big club Arsenal playing.
Gentlemen, as always, thank you very much. A lot more from Don, Frank and Stevie available over on our YouTube channel as they answer your tweets on Extra Time. Big news to Manchester City fans today. Benfica have announced that they've agreed a deal with a club to sell them centre-back Ruben Dias. A lot of money. 68 million euros is the transfer fee for the 23-year-old. Jules and Gab talked about it a lot today on their podcast. Here's a clip.
Ruben Dias, it's a lot of money. And you know, you got Otamendi going the other way. Yeah. That is a lot of money. Is this the answer?
It is the answer, because I think he's a really good centre-back. He's better than everything they have right-footed, at least. So you would think Ruben Dias, Laporte is strong. He's good in the air. He's quite good on the ball. He defends going forward, which I think that's what they need. But it doesn't make sense in the sense that he's third choice. And maybe if you believe or not that they even inquired for Jimenez at Atletico, maybe even fourth choice. And I think a club like City should not go down to fourth option. Yeah. I think, you should make the Koulibaly deal happening if that's who you want. If you want Koundé and you make one offer that is rejected, why are you not coming back with another one? By the way, the first offer was much lower than the Ruben Dias deal, so why don't you go back and offer the same money that you offered for Ruben Dias for Jules Koundé? If it's really who you want. See what I mean? Like, it's really strange.
Yeah.
You make one offer, they say no, you don't go back, and instead you go and buy someone who's quite different to Jules Koundé, to be honest, for more money, older, and maybe a bit more experienced, because he's already
he's not a lot older. He's what, 2 years older?
Yeah, 23 to 21. Yeah. He's a Portuguese right. International. Koundé's not. So I don't know, but the issue I have, and I like Ruben Dias, and I've seen him a lot, and there was a lot of clubs who liked him. I've got a problem with the Lindelof precedent. Is that Lindelof was the best defender at Benfica and in Portugal at the time. No, but what you're rolling your eyes again at me.
It's a different players. 5 years ago, it's a different.
Yeah, but we all thought, oh, Lindelof, that's a great signing. The guy looks so good in Portugal. He looks so good with Benfica.
Speak for yourself. No, he had about no.
I think Ruben Dias is a better defender.
The key difference is Ruben Dias, I think, has been starting for the last 2 years. There's a much bigger body of work there with Ruben Dias at Benfica than there is with Lindelof. Lindelof, who were effectively buying potential.
But so you are as well with Ruben Dias at 23.
I know. I'm sorry. I should have warned you about Gab's legs before that clip.
Yeah,
and the shorts.
My God.
Apparently they're the same shorts that Jordan wore in the last dance. There you go. Frank and Don with us to discuss Dias. And the great thing is, and what I love about you, Frank, is like, I've never seen him play. I've never heard of him. Do you want me to lie? Is the WhatsApp message he sent to me. And this is the thing, isn't it? Because he is a bit of an unknown. We obviously know Koulibaly. We see Upamecano as well. Don, you watched him on YouTube today.
I did, because I commentated on the Champions League a couple of years back, and I just had to try and refresh my memory on the player that I watched. I sort of agree with Julian, really, when players come out of the Portuguese league and you drop them into the Premier League, even though they cost a lot of money. It's not easy. It's not like you look at the size of the transfer fee and how well he's been doing and then say, right, can you come and start for Man City, by the way, and can you come and keep clean sheets? I mean, Sebastian Coates was... couldn't get a game for Liverpool for love and money. He made loads of mistakes in the Premier League. Then he went back to Portugal and looked a really good centre-half. So there's massive differences between the style and how quick the Premier League is compared to the Portuguese league. He's a good defender. What I have seen and what I remember about him, Dan, he's quite aggressive. He likes to sort of step into centre forward. He doesn't take a sort of yard back and he lets them turn. He really is aggressive. He likes to tackle and he's decent on the ball. But he ain't going to just walk into Man City right here, right now, and City are going to just click like that. It's going to take him a little period of time to get going.
But the problem with that is, Frank, is they need him to click like that. We saw how vulnerable they were at the back against Leicester. They need somebody to come in and just hit the ground running. But this guy is going to be very much under the microscope for such a big transfer fee and such expectations. And given, as Jules rightly said, he wasn't the #1 target.
Well, we're going to give a chance to the product, as we said. Maybe it's going to click like that. But you're right, it's an emergency. Manchester City desperately needs a very, very good central defender. So maybe he is. We're going to give a chance. I don't know him, and I have to be honest. That's true. Never heard of him. Never seen him playing. Because I watched the Premier League, the Bundesliga, the Liga, the League One, the Calcio, but never watched the Portuguese Championship, and I didn't follow Benfica in Champions League. So it's hard to have an opinion with him. So I don't want to be disgraceful. I don't want to be critical. I'm going to say maybe because Guardiola and